As a woman, you've seen dudes who think they come across as cool and confident, but to you and everyone else, they come across as insecure and low value. And also as a man, I've seen women who think they're coming across as feminine and strong, but in reality, they come across as insecure, needy. And the only reason why that is because they have no self-awareness of how the opposite sex sees them. Because we've seen people that we say to ourselves, they only need to fix one or two things, but most people never get that type of feedback and fix the core problem. They fix everything else but the thing that matters. And that's why they'll stay watching YouTube videos like this their whole lives and never truly fix it. Not having this access to how you're coming across to the opposite sex makes it impossible to change. And the only time most people realize their mistakes is when it's too late. You already lost the love of your life and you feel like you wasted years. You become jaded. Knowing exactly how men see you will save you time and effort. If you're willing to bite the bullet because it hurts the ego, you won't regret it. But if you choose to just watch this video and not do exactly what it says, I know 10 years from now, you're gonna regret it. And the beauty about it is that it's not hard to have access to this type of knowledge. All you have to do is two simple things, which Father Alex is gonna tell you in this video. But the only problem that I have with this video is that only 10% of women who watch this video will actually apply what I have to say. Or will you be the 10% that actually chooses to do what this video says and transform your dating life? Let's see if your ego can handle it. And if you feel like you need more guidance on how to apply these strategies, or you want someone like Father Alex to see how you interact, or me listen to you, or maybe you have a relationship question that you want answered, that the videos possibly, that the 2,000 videos that I've made possibly has an answer for you, click on the description down below where it says work with Father Alex one-on-one. Your granny will love it. And you'll be able to book a call with me today and talk to Father Alex, and I'll tell you exactly what you're doing wrong. Yeah, that's right, people. With that being said, let's sit on the couch because I have a story to tell you of how I actually did this and how it improved my dating life. Let's get to the couch. Now, the first step is to understand is that the ego is the thing that's going to be bruised by this, because this process hurt me. Right? And the process that I'm gonna be describing to you guys, I wrote about it in my journal. And I'm gonna tell you guys, and I'm gonna read for the first half of my journal, and then towards the end, I'm gonna finish it. And I'm gonna show you how this strategy genuinely changed the way I interacted with the opposite sex, right? It made me come across nicer. And the problem is that I just had blind spots. I didn't know how I was coming across, and no matter how much introspection I did, I was never gonna see that blind spot because that part of me, other people saw, but not me. And that's where we're tackling. That's really the source of most of our social problems are blind spot. Our blind spots are the source of most of our social problems. So we're gonna figure out and learn how to penetrate those blind spots. The first step is this. Ask the people who you know are the most honest. Ask people who you know will lose you as a friend, just to be honest. Ask the people who you know have lost friends just because they're honest.
How many beautiful women live in New York?
Well, you're as pretty as any of them. Just need a nose job.
Those are the ones you want to ask. And the reason why is because they're usually people who may have autism, who may have ADHD. I'm not kidding with you. Like people who might be a little drunk, ask your friends who are drunk, people who smoke weed, you can ask while they're smoking, right? Under the influence people, then I'm not going out there and doing crazy shit, but once they're there, you ask them. And what's gonna happen is that you might get an answer that might hurt your feelings. And it's gonna hurt. But take a deep breath and ask more questions and say, when do I do that? When do I not do that? And if you don't question it, if you don't get defensive, right? All of a sudden, you want to get defensive about a question that you freaking asked. Then they're going to say, that's why you people don't like you. Don't get defensive. Just listen to what they're saying, internalize it, and see that they might have a point of view.
Audrey, my God, you look incredible. I can't believe it.
Well, it was his doctor.
Relax your mind and allow yourself to entertain that idea. Because it could mean, you gotta realize, man, before you actually change, you gotta go through emotional low moments. Like in order for you to change and come to a realization that you're doing something wrong, you first gotta feel like shit about it. And that's what pushes you towards changing it. I think that was the best thing that could have happened to me. I realized how cold I was with people and how rude I came across. Even though I thought I was playing around, I thought I was joking with people. The problem is that people didn't see my jokes. I'm not a comedian. Why it's important to be nice. Literally, like I learned why it's important to be nice. The thing is that, look, man, as crazy as it sounds, that's important. That was an important realization. That has been the source of a lot of my misery. And the way that I dealt with that before, I was like, okay, maybe I'm not cool enough. Maybe I'm not skilled enough. Maybe I don't earn enough. Maybe I'm not tall enough, or maybe I'm not muscular enough. Don't notice how nothing that I would have done with those would have fixed this. And that's a lot of people right now, where you're running around in circles thinking you're fixing something when in reality you're not even tackling the real issue. That has been the source of my misery, right? So once I began to act just more open and friendlier, people were nicer to me. The reason why is because I was insecure, right? If I was too nice, that would have looked non-masculine, right? And because of that, it made me suppress an actual part of me, which is I'm a really nice person on the inside. But from the outside, I looked like the second coming of Lucifer, Jesus Christ. And now I realize that the key is to let people talk, right? Because I was so insecure that I wanted people to think that I was interesting, right? And that tend to push people away, and that you tend to come across as too standoffish. But while I was there, I fell in love with eating out with friends. I enjoyed just socializing, getting to know people, and focusing on them is everyone's favorite thing. So I just began focusing on them rather than trying to be cool, right? Deep sense, okay. I also feel a deep sense of gratitude to my friends. They accepted me for who I am and didn't try to change me, right? And that's what shows you how despite your flaws, your flaws will not stop you from making good friends. That's a good thing, right? This strategy works for people of the opposite sex and acquaintances. But your real friends will like you despite your flaws. That's the beauty about all of this. And I learned that. At the time, I felt real shame because of what I've done. And most importantly, pushed people away. But that trip was worth it. I just wondered why Dorothy, which is the girl that was honest with me, she was an angel to me. Because she told me at one point that she sometimes can't make friends because she's honest. And I really related to her. And that's when I realized that the person who I should ask is her, right? But before I continue that, let me tell you the second step. So the first step is to ask people who you know, okay? The second step, I ask people who you know that are honest, all right? I tell women, if you have a gay best friend, ask your gay best friend, okay? He'll be more honest than your girlfriend, all right? Ask Tyrone, the personal gay trainer, okay? And hey, I am not gay. What the fuck is going on? I got a family and kids. If they hear you saying stuff like that, even though they know you're joking, you're gonna ruin his reputation. It's not because he's homophobic at all. Absolutely not. Tyrone trains gay men. Trains them. You know what I'm saying? But can't be putting stuff like that out, Alexis. Anyways, I gotta go. No, sorry about that, people. All right. So yeah. So after you do that, the next thing, this is the part that's gonna hurt you, man. Honestly, and because the reason why is because of the ego. This is why this hurts. It's all because of your ego. Are you ready? Your ex, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, that's right. Ask your ex. Now, before you click off, hear me out, okay? I wanted to clarify this a little bit. This refers to more for people who you met and dated once or twice, or less than 1 month, things that didn't progress into a relationship. And the reason why is because you want to ask them, because the first month of meeting people is when you're your most insecure. And usually that's when you make most of your mistakes. Usually that's where people see more of the sides of you that tend to sabotage, like the needy, the little twitches, the way of texting, the things that you do that turns people off. You usually do it in the first month. And if somebody left you and didn't want to pursue the relationship, they must know something about you that you just don't know, right? Because the first month is when most of us are acting. After that, we stop acting, right? So asking someone who you've been in a long relationship, they will give you a certain point of view, but someone who only knew you for a month will tell you is a lot more valuable. Because that's usually when you're not really being yourself, when you're really putting on more of an act, right? And those are the things that tend to turn people off the most. So you want to find what that was. And also, it's much better to ask people who left, who didn't want to continue, because they've seen things in you that they just don't like. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. This is one of those things that that I had a tough time asking people, right? And the reason why is because you just are afraid what you're gonna hear. But remember, in this one, I refer to people who only knew you for a short while. They will give you the best feedback. Nobody knows your bullshit. Nobody knows your most annoying qualities more than your ex. I'm telling you, nobody knows all of the things that turns people off more than your ex. And nobody is more excited to tell you, to tell the things about you that are not good more than your ex. Ask them. Most likely they'll tell you the truth, especially if you piss them off, right? Because anger is a truth serum. So if you pissed off your ex, that'll be a way to do that, right? Exes. Text all of the people who you've dated, even if it was one date, ask them for their opinion. Honestly, I've had around two people text me that. Not like they watch my channel, but they ask me how I came across. And every time they ask me that, I just feel so much love and compassion, because I'm like, look at you, man, trying to help, it's really nice, man. And if somebody says, oh, look at you being fucking needy, trying to ask me how you came across. Come on, man, who's really the asshole here, man, So it shouldn't hurt you, honestly. What they will tell you is something that I cannot tell you, because those are your blind spots. Now, let's keep reading. This finishes. People were nicer to me. Oh, okay. She helped me. I asked her, this is Dorothy. I asked her for feedback and she gave it to me in a straight way. Also, blah, blah, blah. Come on, okay. All right, there's certain parts about this that I can't read, people. But the point was that she told me the truth. A really lovely girl. She was from Poland. And because of her, when I went back to New York City, I'm reading part of it right now. I kept a lot of the people that I kept the friends of a lot of the people who I met in Italy. And the truth is that their feedback, what they told me is that something in me changed after a certain moment. And it was when she told me that. And I didn't tell them, hey guys, I changed, watch out. No, they just noticed it. When you actually change from within, you have no self-awareness. You don't notice that you change. You just feel happier about it. So once you find out what your mistake is, ask them, how can you improve? What can you do to change it? I'm telling you, they'll know things that I cannot tell you. I'm just being honest with you. And what they tell you based on that feedback will be, it's like you're batting and the ball, and you're hitting it right in the middle of the bat. And if you hit the ball at the right spot, it'll go out the park. You're always gonna hit it out the park with what I'm telling you right now. And this is why it's important, man. Once you're able to see how people see you, all of a sudden you could change the results instantly. Like, have you seen people, you're like, you know what? If they change this, they'll be so much more attractive. If they stop acting like this, they'll be so much more attractive. That's what we're doing for you, okay? And if you want to learn more how to do this, ladies and gentlemen, you guys can just purchase some of my courses. For example, the Psychological Game of Attraction is a course that I made for women who are single and who want to improve their dating life. Natural Chemistry is a course that I made for women who are in relationships. Charisma Blueprint is a course that I made in order to develop charisma. The Feminine Woman is my current course. It's more so of a self-help course on how to think long-term, how to set and achieve goals, how to blend in the masculine and the feminine, how to be feminine and not be taken advantage of, how to be masculine and not look like a damn Terminator, right? You could purchase all of them individually at $99 or purchase them all by becoming part of the Mindful Attraction University. Yeah, that's right, where Professor Alex will be your teacher. Yeah, that's right. I'll be calling on you. Hey, Melissa, you got a question? Hey, Tyrina, you got a question? Hey, Quintisha, you got a question? You guys can be part of the university, people, by clicking in the description down below. Or else, I'm closing the channel. See you guys later.